Today's episode is brought to you by the best store in the universe. Thousands of shirts, but not really. Shop now and support the show at MaddoxRules.com. Welcome to the best debate in the universe. Every debate in the universe, from overrated Beatles to anti-vaxxer measles. With over 3.5 million downloads, I'm your host, Maddox. With me is the first tangent officer, Ron Babcock.
Good to be back, Maddox.
And as always, the junior journalist, Taylor Nikolai.
Still junior.
Welcome back to the show. Guys, amazing show this week. We've got a big show. We're going to be debating whether or not beauty pageants should have the bikini portion of the contest. It's been kind of controversial for years. In this era, in this age, it may be outdated, but we'll find out next week because we're going to have the results of the debate this week. But first, I want to introduce our guest. She's lovely, beautiful, talented. Please welcome back Lauren Francesca, model, actress, and you also have a huge YouTube channel, Instagram. You're constantly working. You're one of the hardest working.
They call them actresses, right?
Mac-
model actresses.
Model actress.
Yeah, she's a actress.
Yeah, you like that? You like the flow of that?
Sure.
Flows off the tongue.
Yeah. Put it on your business card.
Okay.
I'm a actress.
Mattress.
Yeah, it sounds like a mattress.
Yeah.
Is that some other thing I don't know about?
You just drop one letter.
I'm a mattress
Yeah.
for mattress commercials.
Gotcha.
Well, welcome back to the show, Lauren. And I got to say, every time I check in on your Instagram or your YouTube, everything's just blowing up. Lauren is, no joke, one of the hardest working people I know. And you guys see, like, people who do social media stuff, they post pictures of themselves like, oh, cool, you posted a picture of yourselves at work. Yeah, it's fucking work. And she's working her ass off. I see you do streams at like 3 a.m. to like Thai people. You have like a Thai audience, right?
Wait, a what?
That's like a secret part of my life that no one's supposed to know about. How do you know about this, Maddox?
Yeah, I just saw it like pop up on my stream one day. I'm like, what's Lauren even streaming to Thailand right now?
Where you stream in Thailand?
Yeah, Thailand.
Yeah, I have a huge audience in Thailand. It's crazy. It's Thailand, Philippines, and India. I have a huge audience, but the time zones are so different. So they like it when I live stream, and
Yeah.
I try to appease all of my
How did that
followers.
even start? Like, how did you grow an audience halfway around the world?
You just find content and then you talk about it, and then all of a sudden they just start.
So you tell me, like, I could be
Yeah.
huge in like Burma.
Yeah.
I don't even know the Babcock Burma audience that has not been tapped.
The Burmese Babcocks.
Oh man.
Well, we should
Wait, by the way,
Yeah.
I missed you so much, Ron. You weren't here last week.
It's good to be back around this table, and I'm not saying that just because of the free hummus, but the hummus is doing a lot of the heavy lifting.
Yeah, honestly, the podcast is whatever. I like hanging
I
out
come
with
for the
friends.
chips.
Okay. All right, guys. All right, let's cool. A little bit too much English on that one, Taylor. But we should get to the debate. We've got a lot to cover in this episode. So we're going to talk about whether or not bikini portions of beauty pageants should exist, because that's become controversial for some reason, and we'll get to why in a minute. Then we have a recap of last week's debate. We've got some voicemail, and we've got another fan gift that I'm going to open up on the show. It's fantastic. And then we've got some quick news headlines at the tail end of the episode. But first, let's hear everyone's buzzers. Here's mine. Lauren?
And here's mine.
There we go. If you hear a buzzer from anyone during this debate, that means someone is disagreeing with someone else, or we just want to chime in with an interjection. And by the way, the buzzers you just heard correspond with the person who presses them. That's why I do this introduction every fucking episode. You're welcome.
Glad that you're not fired up about that anymore. that you've learned to let it go.
Nope. And also, I do want to mention, this is the first ever live stream we're doing on madcastmedia.com. If you guys are watching this live, we record on Saturdays around this time. It's around 1:30 p.m. Pacific. So we're going to start promoting that. This is our pilot program, and we're trying this for the very first time. You can chat with us. We'll be promoting this in the future, and if people like it, we may continue doing them. But Lauren, as our guest this week, I'm going to give you first stab at the debate. Should beauty pageants have bikini portions of the contest? Why or why not?
I think there should be a fitness portion and kind of like just a portion like that. But I think bikini, it's just a little bit objectifying of women.
Oh, it's objectifying of women, huh? Okay, then I'm going to argue that yes, they should, and I'll even take it a step further and say that objectification is good. Boo.
Wow.
Do they only wear,
Jesus.
do they only wear bikinis, or do they wear other types of swimsuits?
Yeah, what else would they wear? Like, yeah,
I don't
bikinis
know.
and
I
sandals?
don't
Like,
watch these things.
I don't know. What about like are they all two pieces? Is there one piece?
They have. Lauren, I'll
Yeah, some
defer to you,
girls. Yeah, some girls have one pieces on, but I mean, it's generally a
But they
bikini
lose.
competition.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So I want to hear why you think that it's a bad thing, because then I'll really because this is a hard argument to make, right? That objectification, especially sexual objectification, is a good thing, and I will argue that it is because I already have, and I'll tell you why.
Okay, I want to know why.
Yeah.
You're like, get excited for this sexist bullshit I'm about to peddle.
I think you guys will like it, but go ahead, Lauren. Why do you think it's a bad thing?
I think it's bad because it's appearances. It's people judging women for something that's not earned. A lot of women, some women are born a certain way and some women aren't. So I think if there was like a fitness aspect, you could really show like, okay, these women have worked to get to this point. And then I feel like that's they're earning that level of how they're getting judged. Otherwise, it's like, how do you know? How do you know if that girl in a bikini works out every day or if she's just born perfectly? It's not fair.
Well, okay, but what if they do? What if they have earned that body through hard work and plastic surgery? Don't you? But like, that's a legit question. Like, don't you think plastic surgery is also earning it? Yeah, you paid for the body. You paid for whatever your chin or your cheeks or your nose or your butt, like whatever. You paid for it, but it looks good.
But every woman can't afford plastic surgery. It's expensive.
Exactly. That's why these women earned their new ass.
So
right?
didn't they, in like the Miss America teen version, like they do this where they got rid of like some swimsuit portion and they replaced it with like a fitness kind of wear kind of thing?
Yeah, something like that. I think.
Which, by the way, I always thought was kind of weird that there was a swimsuit portion for the Miss America teenage.
Oh, was there really?
Because it's like, hey, let me see you. Put your titties out there, teenager.
Oh,
like,
that's
it's so
yeah.
creepy.
That is a little creepy.
So it was just like,
No, but you make a good point, Ron. I think that is a little bit creepy that they have a swimsuit portion for the teens, because the swimsuit, I don't know. Lauren, let me ask you, because I've seen your Instagram, you have a ton of like gorgeous photos, and you post a lot in bikinis on your own, right?
Yeah.
Maybe we should say your username right now, so everyone.
Oh yeah, let's plug.
I want my Lauren, guys. Follow me there.
I want my Lauren. You will not be disappointed. It's super fun. But so you post a lot of swimsuit photos. Do you think that there is like some sex appeal to those, or what do you find appealing about swimsuit photos?
They just get more likes.
Okay.
They just get more likes.
how come whenever I post a swimsuit photo, it gets less likes?
Yeah. It gets reported.
Yeah. That's inappropriate content.
Yeah. So I gotta tell you. So I'll make this argument. I said at the top of this debate that I not only think I agree with you that it does objectify women to have the swimsuit portion of the contest, but I said that objectification is a good thing, and I'll tell you why specifically. I came across this epiphany one day when I was going to the post office. I brought in my package, and I needed to just drop it off. I walked over to the counter, and I handed it to the person. The person grabbed it, turned around, dropped it in a bin, and I left. There was no hello. There was no goodbye. I essentially used that person like a hole. Like if you know the receptacles you have at a post office where you just drop off your box in a hole, I just handed it to a person and treated them the exact same way. And then I realized I do that sometimes. We all inadvertently do that when we go to grocery stores. We pay for our things and we don't really have a conversation with the teller. Sometimes
I always do.
Well, I know Taylor, but you're from
of course you do.
Minnesota.
That's actually a
friendly.
thing in Minnesota. Like, it's weird to not have a conversation with the cashier.
Yeah, well,
Taylor's good up there. What are your dreams?
yeah. So, a lot of people walk into grocery stores, they pay for their thing, they don't say hello, they don't say goodbye, they just use that person like an automated teller machine. And I realize we objectify people all the time. You treat them like literal objects. And the only time that it turns out to be bad, the only time there's a negative connotation is when it comes to sex or sexuality. Well, I think there's nothing wrong with sex or sexuality. The only time sexual objectification is bad is when you think that there's something wrong or demeaning about sex. And that's why I make the case that we objectify people all the time. Sexual objectification should be no different than any other type of objectification. Like someone who holds the door open for you is essentially a doorstop. Someone who fixes your car is essentially a car-fixing object, right? Unless you know that person. Do you agree or disagree?
I mean, this is like a piece of taffy because you are just stretching things so far. Like, all right, so you're saying that we treat people like objects sometimes. So if I go to the post office and drop off a package to someone who gets paid $18 an hour,
Yeah.
I'm treating them like an object?
Yeah, essentially.
Or like somebody holds open the door. I mean, I get like the niceties of society. Like, you know, we don't all have time to like have a big old combo with every single person we meet in the world to be like, hey, what are you about? Let's talk forever. Like sometimes you're just trying to get your errands done for the day. But I think the thing is if you have a bikini competition in a beauty pageant, like it's not just demeaning to those women. It's basically saying to the world, like, okay, we value your beauty based on your physical appearance. That's what's important. So get them titties out. Let me see them. Let me see them titties.
I mean,
because that's what I want to care about. And the one who has the best ones, I'm going to give you a trophy. Or no, a crown. And a scepter.
Some flowers.
I mean, yeah. Wait, you get what?
Like, it just
Flowers.
feels weird. Like,
Flowers.
so we have this massive pageant, like for our country,
right.
where we get all the most beautiful and smartest women who come to the front. And it's like okay, they have the portion of the show where it's like where we let them talk, you know?
Yeah.
Where basically the goal is, hey, don't just sound like an idiot and you're fine. We let them talk for what, like 15 seconds? Like, what would you do if you were president for a day? Like, there's no written essay portion to this thing. You know, it's just like that's like the most minor part. The rest of it is evening gowns and like, you know, the titty part and you know, those fluff pieces where they're all at like an amusement park running around like high-fiving.
Yeah. No, I get
bullshit.
it. So you want to test? You want them to be like, okay, let's judge them on the merits of things that they earn, their IQs, their intelligence, how well spoken they are, et cetera, et cetera. But we have that already. They're spelling bees, and all. So like Miss America, just like spelling bees plus bikinis, fucking cool. I'm in. Lauren, what's wrong with that?
Spelling bees are only for grade school children.
Yeah.
That's the problem.
I think Miss America stands for something more, though. It stands for a woman who's representing America. So do we want to teach our children that you can only be Miss America if you have a perfect body and huge boobs? And I don't know what post office you're going to, because I've tried to be nice to those people at the post office in West Hollywood.
Yeah.
And they are so nasty.
Oh, yeah, they don't give a fuck.
They're like, I will throw your mail away in your P.O. box if you don't pick it up. I was like, what?
Oh, yeah. They'll threaten you. And I've had, like, they're huge assholes.
Oh, it's like the Russian part of West Hollywood?
Yeah. Oh,
when
my
you,
God.
like, walk into a store and they're like, what the fuck are you doing
So
here?
we gotta-
I just want to buy some bread. I'm sorry.
This is bizarre for anyone who's not been to Los Angeles. There's an area in Los Angeles called West Hollywood, and there's a weirdly, like, huge contingent of Russians in there.
But also West Hollywood is also where like it's usually stereotypically like the gay part of town. Yes. And then there's a couple blocks of Russians. You know who they are because they look at you with shifty eyes. They look at you like you're about to steal something.
Yep, I have seen that. And I walked into what's that weird fucking grocery store? There's a grocery store in Los
Rock and Roll
Angeles.
Ralph's?
No, it's like called the Final Solution or something. No,
Whoa.
Wait, it's the Cost Final. What's it called? Final Stop? Final Solution?
I don't know what the hell you're trying to say right
You know what I'm talking about? It's like Final Solution or something.
It's like
it's
Cost Plus or
Cost
something?
Plus, that's the one.
Wow. Yeah.
Wow.
You sure it's not called the Third Reich?
No, Cost Plus. Okay, it's like, I thought it was like, one stop, it's your final stop or something like that. So that's why I get it mixed up. Anyway.
Hitler deals.
Oh, like,
Give you
no,
6 million
Smart
reasons
Final.
to stop.
Smart and Final, that's the one. Yes, Smart and Final. That's it. That's it, Lauren. So Smart and Final, you know, the final solution in groceries.
Oh, no.
You walk into this place and it's like it has everything you want but nothing you want. You know what I mean? Like they have like not a dozen eggs but like 13 eggs for some fucking like I don't know, just weird shit. They have like the toilet paper brand that you need toilet paper, but it's like weird brands you've never heard of that you don't want. And then they have tons of fucking plastic utensils. I don't know why. Just an entire aisle of plastic utensils. And then a shit ton of cat food. And then like
It's weird that plastic utensils are like have different like companies.
Oh, yeah.
Like probably like you don't want to eat your food with that guy's fork.
No.
You gotta try us.
They got white ones, clear ones, silver ones. They've got the paper plates, foam plates. They've got stacks of plastic plates. Everything you want, but nothing you want. And bologna. Lots of bologna in this place. Anyway, and the reason I mention that is because there's Russians in there all the fucking time, and they just hang out. I'm saying, like, literally, I saw a guy who brought in a chair with him one time, and he was just sitting. I'm like, what are you doing, man?
This is my cafe.
Yeah. Anyway, so I don't know why we got off on that Russian tangent, but back to the beauty pageants, Lauren. So you were saying that Miss America, it teaches our kids something that, you know, I mean, not necessarily. It's also teaching our kids that Miss America is like a private franchise, right? It's Donald Trump's, isn't it?
No, he's Miss Universe, right?
I don't know. He's like, I feel like he started them, and I don't know if he's still after some stuff. I don't know if he's still running it.
I mean, if you are teaching your kids anything and using a beauty pageant as an example, I mean, let's start there. Maybe.
Well, I think it's weird. Like it's also like it's kind of goes both ways. Like it's kind of weird to have a beauty pageant, like to judge someone based on beauty. But we do that every day already. Like we're constantly judging people based on how attractive they are. But to have like this like sanctioned tournament, you know?
Yeah.
Like that feels, even as a kid, I was like, I mean, this is cool because I was a kid and I was a horny teenager and I just was seeing, you know, like girls come out in bikinis. I was like, this is awesome. Yeah. But I was like, this is awesome, but it's kind of weird. Because it just feels weird to just be judging people. Because I don't buy the fact that it's anything more than beauty. Like I'm sure they did things to get there that require them to be like involved in their community. But I like when you really get down to it.
What's wrong?
Until there's a beauty pageant winner who's like amazingly well spoken, done a lot for community, but let's just face it, kind of homely.
Yeah.
You know, then I'm like, I don't buy it.
Yeah, but I mean, here's the thing. You know, I'm so tired of this argument against objectification because they're like, you know, let's not put like really hot, sexy women on the covers of magazines. It's like, because that'll be an artificial beauty standard, right? It's like, well, no one's telling you that that's the beauty standard. In fact, the reason they're on the magazine cover is because they're not the beauty standard. They are exotic. You see car magazines put the most exotic cars on their covers. You see gun magazines post the most exotic guns on their covers. You see bodybuilders just fucking ripped and just muscles on muscles, the most exotic bodybuilders. But when it comes to like, you know, women and beauty, it's like, oh, better pump the brakes. We don't want that to be the beauty standard. It's not though. Everywhere you look, you just see a realistic standard of beauty. You can't step into a grocery store without seeing a tombstone of an old lady, like an old mom walking around wearing like a, you know, like a...
But it's not just like bodybuilding magazines are a specific like niche that you're interested in. I think for women, it's not just like the Cosmopolitans, but it's literally every ad in every magazine ever. Like all moms like look like not like how our moms look. It's like when you watch TV, every commercial, there's always a doofy fucking dad,
yeah,
you know, who looks exactly like me because those are the auditions I used to go out for.
Yeah,
where it's like, I don't know how to do anything, and then his like crazy hot wife, where you're like, how did he end up with her?
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
Like what? How funny is that guy to land her?
Pretty funny.
Yeah, he just must have like met her when she was feeling really down, and he just happened to be super nice that day, and she was like, I just want to meet a nice guy, and then they, you know, built a life together.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, well, I've had that very experience. I have gone out on a date before with, it was a girl I was dating for a while, and she looked gorgeous. She just like dressed to the nines, and I had just finished writing all day. My hair was unkempt. I had a few stains on my shirt, and I looked like shit.
Your hair was unkempt? How exactly? As somebody who has the same haircut, I'm just wondering, how does that happen?
This is when I had hair on. I did have hair not too long ago, and I came out, and I didn't look shaved. I looked kind of like gross. And then she looked at me, and I looked at her, and I'm like, she goes, "What do you think people think of us?" And I'm like, well, they think I must be a producer or something because there's no fucking way.
They think I'm super rich.
Yeah, that's all it is. Anyway, Lauren, but back to the beauty pageant thing. I think the fundamental question here is whether or not people think sex is good or bad. Because if you think that sex is bad, I think then you will necessarily think that sexual objectification is bad.
Well, I don't necessarily think about all that. Sex is fine. But I'm just thinking, like, if I have kids and I have little girls, and already magazines just mess up people's heads and mess up people's confidence with the amount of Photoshop going on, I don't want them looking at the TV thinking, I want to be like this one day, or Mommy, can I have $20,000 for some breast implants? Like, you know, it's just how our like society is kind of shaped, and I think that the objectification part is bad for it. I know there are beautiful women out there, and I think it's great to admire them. And I think, you know, when I watch a movie or a TV show and we see somebody who's like, you know, a Jennifer Lawrence, I'm just like, yeah, that's when I want to admire them. And I love seeing like situations where, okay, there's some justification. They're at the beach, so that's why she has a bikini on. Okay. You know, she's at the pool, they're doing a scene at the pool, that's why she's wearing that. I don't think it's necessary for them to be like, okay, girls, you know, this is the part where we judge you on your body. I don't know.
I see what you're saying. Okay, so how about this? I think that people who only value you for your looks are assholes, right? They're shallow people. But it's okay to also value someone for their looks. Is that?
Yeah.
Are we on board with that? Taylor's giving me like kind of a...
Okay, so I guess my problem is, what is the point of beauty pageant? Like, first off, I guess my question would start with, is Miss America even a beauty pageant at this point? Is it classified as a beauty pageant? Because if it is, and it's a beauty pageant where the purpose is to decide who is the most beautiful, then you have to have classifications behind that beauty. And you can say, like, the intelligence, the responses, and all this type of stuff. But, like, I think that it's a lot to say that it's strictly a sexual thing. Like, that's like saying all art is sexual. Like, when you go to a museum and you see a naked body, I
get a boner.
It's not necessarily a sexual thing. Like, there's a lot to be said about, like, the human body is art itself.
Right.
So, like, I think that it's wrong to say that swimsuit competitions are necessarily a sexual thing.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think that they are. I don't think that you could make the case that... I mean, swimsuits by themselves are not necessarily sexual. I think that, if you... I mean, they're not, right?
You guys hear yourselves.
They're not.
Did you even hear? So you're saying that swimsuits aren't a sexual thing?
Yeah. They're not. I mean, if you go to the beach and you're just wearing your swimsuit, so you essentially just going to the beach in your boxers.
If the purpose is to define who is the most beautiful, and the major aspect of that, of beauty, is physical beauty, then you have to define how beautiful someone is.
I get
and
that.
And the swimsuit is the best way to see the most amount of body. And I'm not saying this in any sort of
Let's have
creepy
them
way.
come out naked.
Yep,
Let's have them come out naked. I think it's like, I get it. I just think like...
I just think it's hypocritical. Like, that's what I'm trying to say. Is that, like, you can't have a beauty pageant and then also say, no, we're not going to define people by beauty anymore. And maybe I'm completely off base
No.
here,
I think there is something. I think the organization feels like it's trying to define itself in the world we live in today, which is like, it feels fucking weird to have a beauty pageant. Like,
I
at
think
least
it's weird
to
in
some
general
people.
to have someone represent your city who is defined solely by attractiveness. It's judged by older people. I'm assuming it's like a crew of like 50, 60-year-olds who are defining who this attractive person is to represent the town. That's a weird concept in general. And now we're trying to define what are the okay ways we decide this weird concept. Like, everything about beauty pageants is weird to me. I don't understand how they still exist. Like, I feel like this taking away the swimsuit part is just like, it's just one step to getting rid of them in general.
Getting rid of what? The swimsuits?
Beauty pageants.
Oh, okay.
I mean, I think like as time goes on, they do seem less and less, I don't know, like necessary, or they're like or appropriate, or they just don't feel like they're doing anything. Maybe like I'm not in that world, so like maybe I'm speaking out of turn, but like
let's ask Lauren. Lauren, have you ever taken part in any beauty pageants?
oh yeah.
I haven't. My mom used to do the whole pageant thing, and I think it's
Wait,
good.
for real?
Yeah.
Like, how old was she when she did it?
Probably like 15, 16.
Did she have like fond memories of it?
Yeah, she's like crowns and fond memories.
She won beauty pageant.
Yeah, so I think it's a good way to kind of like train young girls at a young age to just, have manners, have good etiquette, focus on other things. Like, a lot of times there's like the talent competition, which is playing an instrument or dancing. So I think that's really
But how
really
young
important.
is okay?
I think it's fine, but I get a little bit nervous when you see like the show moms, like the John Benet Ramsey kind of families.
When you have 4-year-olds who are being defined on how pretty they are, like, that should be illegal. Like, that is destructive to a child.
Look, it's weird, and I would never do it, but I don't know if it should be illegal. Because there's a lot of kids that people say, like Shirley Temple. She was a child actress, and she was adorable, and that was the reason she was so popular. She was adorable. Well, she was also talented. She could tap dance, and she was just very, very charming. People were taken by her, but I don't think it was a sexual thing.
I think I think maybe I'm just full of crap. Because the good argument there is, well, Taylor, are you saying children shouldn't be actors then? then? Should there not
Yeah.
be children actors? And like,
Also-
I'm wrong.
I'm
gonna stop talking.
I'm guessing like if we had like we're talking to someone who was in a beauty pageant, they'd probably be like, there's some people out there probably really liked it. But like, are you kidding? I had to like travel the world, got to meet a bunch of cool people, got
Yeah.
recognition, and you're like, okay, well that's kind of cool too. And then if it wouldn't be the most woke thing, where if somebody wants to go out and be like, yeah, I want to be judged on my beauty, I'm fucking hot as shit. Like, shouldn't we give them the freedom to be like, you know what, you go do you?
So, Lauren, let me ask you this, because on that point, Ron, Lauren also does a lot of fitness, right? You do
Yeah.
different things on your YouTube channel. You start doing Fortnite, too. The two big Fs, Fortnite and fitness.
Exactly.
You CrossFit, Lauren?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Do you really CrossFit? You don't CrossFit.
Do you just push around? Do you either push around the tire or do you roll in it?
No. Yeah. I roll in it.
What do you roll in into the CrossFit gym and then you push it around?
Well, I live like right by there, and I just see everybody running. I do a lot of like interval training that really helps. Just because you have to be fit, you have to be in shape, and doing those Fortnite dances, those I will tell you burn lots of calories.
Oh, yeah. You got to hit the G key.
Yeah.
But Lauren, so if they had the exact same, let's say it's the new Miss America pageant, okay, and they got rid of the swimsuit competition, and they said it's no longer a swimsuit competition, but it's a fitness competition, then would you be okay with
Oh
it?
my God. Then we do like an American Ninja Warrior style.
There you go.
Oh.
I mean, but the fitness one is essentially the same thing. You're judging someone based on their body and how fit they are, how fit they look, right? Except with fitness, it takes out the air of sexuality that comes with a bikini, right? But you're still showing the same amount.
But you're
still
showing strength. You're showing activeness through fitness. You're showing accomplishments. The accomplishment is using your body to actually do something, whatever it is, climb up a ladder or jump across some fucking beam. When you're in a bikini, you're not.
You're just standing.
You're just standing there, being like, check me out. Pretty fucking sweet, right?
Yeah,
I can walk too.
Yeah, I know it's kind of a shallow dimension if you just judge someone based on that. I mean, we judge people all the time, do we not?
Yeah, but that doesn't make it okay.
I mean, what? Let me hear why. I'm not disagreeing, but I do want to hear why. Do you think it's not okay?
Just because you do anything all the time doesn't make that behavior okay in every single instance.
Okay, I'll give you that. Yeah. That's
Whoa,
good.
I was flying closer to the sun on that one. That's like when I started the sentence and I had no idea how I was going to end it.
Oh, let's hope this bridge lands somewhere. Yeah. Yeah. No, that's a good point. But again, like the fitness thing. Now, Miss America, I think that if they had a Miss America thing, right? It's not just fitness or bikinis. It's also like how beautiful their face is, right? A beautiful person. Isn't that like essentially what you're never going to see like a Miss America pageant.
Yeah, you're never going to have like an Owen Wilson like non-symmetrical face up there.
Yeah,
know?
yeah.
We got
right?
one eye going this way and then a cheekbone, headed southeast.
Yeah, and so that's I guess goes to the heart of an actual beauty pageant, because you're never going to see people who are less than considered perfect for a Miss America pageant.
It's like
They're all
the
beautiful.
Uggos need not apply.
Yeah.
Basically, where it's only open to a certain like threshold of people.
So do you think this is just like an outdated kind of competition? Do you think in like 10 years we won't have beauty pageants anymore?
I don't think it should be considered. Miss America should be considered a beauty pageant. I don't think it should. I think it should just be like an all-around competition for the best woman in America, because our whole society watches it and supports it. Beauty pageants, I think there will always be beauty pageants. There's always going to be competitions, and there's always going to be hungry show moms that want their kids to achieve what they really want.
So what should we do to make it like not a beauty pageant, but a competition to be like the all-around best American woman? Like, what are the things we should have?
Oh, I got it. I got the name for it. Ready for this?
Oh, I'm excited.
It's called The Best Woman in the Universe. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, I can see the logo already. 3 stars.
Like, if we
orange,
were going to
gold.
redesign it, from the ground up, like, what would we include? Me, first of all, got to have an essay just to get in.
An essay?
Yeah, you got to be well written.
Well, okay, I'm going to play devil's advocate here on. Well, what about what if women who they're not that good of a writer, but they have other skills like art?
If you want to be good in life, you need to know how to write well and speak well. Those are just basic bitch skills that everyone needs to develop.
Well, what about
That's what school should teach you. I don't care what you learn. If you know how to write well, you know how to speak well, you'll do fine in life. If you can communicate your ideas
If you learn how to communicate your ideas to other people,
Yeah.
you will be fine in life.
Okay. I'll
You
give
know what
that.
people would watch more than a beauty pageant nowadays is like a competition just in girls playing video games, and to see who would be the best.
Video game portion, social
Oh,
media
there you
portion.
go.
Who texts faster?
the texting.
I tell you, you know how many more people would watch this shit if we had like actual real life things? You know, like who can order like a maca
Yeah, no, like,
frappuccino
that's-
from Starbucks the quickest?
That's one of the problems people have with beauty pageants in general is that they're coached on, the responses that they're going to say. Like their responses are canned. They're basically politicians. It's just they're politicians who are judged on their appearance.
Yes, and I was just thinking of the opposite of that. The only segment in society where beauty doesn't come in. I mean, we choose the most beautiful actors and actresses to represent us more often than not. The most beautiful news anchors and the most beautiful, in pageants. The only segment of society where beauty doesn't really seem to factor as much is politics, where everyone's allowed to be super ugly. What?
But no, of course it factors.
Like
Look
what?
at Gavin Newsom running for governor. He looks so like smarmy and like ready. Like you can't. Like the founding fathers would have never made it in today's politics. Like John Adams or one of those dudes had a stutter. He just had a straight up stutter.
Are you saying they're
He
hot?
could never.
None of them were hot.
Yeah, they all were uggos. You need to meet a basic threshold. I'm
That's what
talking
I'm saying.
for like.
We're agreeing.
Oh, we are?
Yeah.
Good. Absolutely. So you're saying that you need to like be good looking to be a politician?
You don't.
No,
need-
I am saying you do.
Why? No, never.
On a local level, sure, you could be whatever. But the higher up you get, yeah.
Look at fucking Trump. He
Trump
looks like
is the one anomaly which we'll never be able to
Look at
explain.
Carrie. Look at George W. You think they're handsome people?
Man, Kerry, I'd wear him like a blanket.
Lauren, who's the hottest president in recent times, or any president?
Oh boy.
Beauty pageant, presidents,
Don't
go.
say
President.
Trudeau. Don't say Trudeau.
Oh, Trudeau, I would. Oh, good.
I love pictures of women looking at Trudeau, like the little side glance they do. There's so
You
many.
gotta give it to him. That guy's handsome.
What do you say, Lauren?
The most recent or in all time?
In all time, who's a hot
Well,
president?
of course, like John F. Kennedy. Like
Oh,
you have
JFK,
to,
yeah,
you have to say, like
Yeah.
he definitely, like he had that swagger.
Yeah, he sure did.
Yeah, he had
I mean,
swagger.
he got Marilyn Monroe in the bag, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm kind of a Teddy Roosevelt guy.
Teddy Roosevelt. He's got a booty.
I just feel like he would just like, you don't fuck him, he fucks you.
Oh yeah.
You know?
Teddy Roosevelt.
But put it like this: the orgasm you'd have with that guy is one that you would never forget.
Yeah.
Where JFK is like, I don't know, dude, because hot guys like that, when you're that good looking, like, you don't need to try as hard, you know?
So do you think?
No, I want to follow this thought to its completion. Hot dudes don't need. There's no incentive for them to try because they're so hot. They're always going to attract someone.
Yeah,
You get a guy like Teddy Roosevelt with a walrus mustache.
Ron, as a fellow five, I tell this. I tell this to chicks all the time. Like, you don't want a hot guy; they won't try as hard.
Yeah, you're right. Oh my God. I'm sure you've written about that.
Yeah, no, but it's a thing, right? Like,
Oh my
like
God.
girls know that you've been with really hot guys, Lauren, and they don't try as hard. I'm
Oh my
guessing.
God. The fellow fives. You want to be a part of a club you never wanted to be a part of?
Yeah.
Welcome to the fellow fives.
Yeah, the Five Club. That's right.
We'll say hi to your mom.
No, but all joking aside, do you think that, with men, when it comes to this type of thing, it's not called beauty, but it is called fitness. So they have the fitness competitions. There's just a bunch of guys who come out there who've been working out too much in gyms, and they look like, like beefcakes. But we are judging them on their body. And by the way, guaranteed most of them are real dumb. Like, they're not going to have an ability to speak very well. They're not going to be great orators. They don't write essays.
I wonder, like, I would never want to be that buff. And I wonder if the same is true for most women. Because I know, like, sometimes I look at the Miss America and they all kind of look like the same person to me. Like, they just have a different hair color and a different skin tone. But I look at them like, they all look kind of like different, like 50 Shades of Plastic. Like,
Yeah.
they all have the like giant big hair. They kind of have the same shape. Like, it's really like doesn't like,
Or
I don't
Miss
think that's
America?
what, yeah, I don't think that's what most women look up to, be like, I want to look like that. I know
Yeah.
with bodybuilder dudes, I'm like, I don't want to look like that. I mean,
Yeah.
I know I already do.
Yeah, you look great, Ron.
Well, I canceled my gym membership because I'm done.
Yeah,
so.
you do finish working out at some point.
What is kind of cool about the beauty pageants in comparison to things like Instagram, where people are able to Photoshop themselves into oblivion, like when it's live, you're not able to Photoshop in real time when you're live. So like there is something kind of neat about the fact that we're kind of judging people on their characteristics, in real
moment?
time. Yeah.
Wait, what's that app that people use? TuneFace?
Facetune.
Facetune, that's it.
What does Facetune do?
Facetunes are really common. Instead of using Photoshop, people use apps like Facetune in order to like smooth out edges.
Listen, as a fellow 5 member, if we start Facetuning, we could bump it up to like a 6.5.
That's
Yeah.
really ambitious, man.
I think we can do it.
There's not a good foundation here. That's all I'm saying. No, but all joking aside, Lauren. So, is there any other segment of, say, beauty pageants, or what would you? What's the distinction between a beauty pageant and, say, what's the other option?
What do you mean?
Like a beauty pageant, or I mean, you said that you wouldn't classify Miss America as a beauty pageant. What would you classify it as?
There's beauty pageants, and then there's like fitness competitions, and then there's talent competitions. If it was just a straight beauty pageant, there wouldn't be that much talent. There wouldn't be that many questions. I feel like for the girls, it would kind of be more straightforward. And I feel like Miss America also, they look at you. Was it Miss America that Halle Berry? They didn't let Halle Berry win because she did Playboy.
Oh, really?
It's one of them. I forget which one it was.
See, this puritanical fucking bullshit. It's like you demonize sex. It's like anything that has to do with sex, it's like automatically
Well,
bad.
it's very controlling. It's like, sex is okay the way we say it's okay.
Yeah,
like anytime you take ownership of your own body and do what you want, they're like, well, hold on, let's pump the brakes a little bit. That's
Yeah.
fucking weird.
Yeah.
It is weird. So yeah, I think you're right. It was like Halle Berry is someone who won, and then they found out she did Playboy,
And they took her crown away.
Right, that's insane.
Yeah, and she's an amazing woman. She's so cool. I've met her before. She's so cool. Like and I'm just like, how could you take the crown away from Halle Berry? Like she's just like, she definitely deserved to win the crown. So
Right. And then we got the first lady of the U.S. who's posed all sorts of naked photos. Which, by the way, I'm proud of just Americans for not making a bigger deal out of that. Like it was, it came out, a couple weeks before the election and everything, and it was a dud story.
I feel
Nobody
like if
really
it was a
cared.
Democrat, it'd be a much bigger deal.
If you were a
If
Democrat.
it was a Democrat,
it would
like
be a
a
huge deal.
Yeah.
I think so. I think the puritanical right would have just skewered the Democratic candidate. Like, oh, look at this woman who's going into the White House and she's posed naked and all this and that. I mean, it would be a huge scandal if it was.
But
the
like,
other way
you're
around.
right. It was like maybe because it's like on the laundry list of things to be freaked out by. You're like, fuck it, whatever. It doesn't matter. Like, there's so many other things going on.
know.
Right
I think the thing about Trump is that there's just so many items of discussion that, like, any one item, it's like, well, why don't we talk about all these hundreds of other things that we can be talking about?
Yeah,
exactly.
I remember by the time I saw that photo spread, I was just so exhausted. I just didn't have the energy to even
jerk off.
I was like, I can't right now. I'm just too tired. I'm too tired of the state of this this election. It's too vitriolic. I'm not into it.
I think I have a plan to fix it, and it's a serious plan.
Yes.
Okay, so the whole Miss America thing, let's do an all-rounded competition, where there's like some social media portion. I would like to see an American Ninja Warrior portion. Definitely it's some sort of essay, almost like getting into college,
Of course, yes.
And we open up to men and women. Happens at the same time. And we're all doing the same shit, So it's like open up to both. So it couldn't be this whole, well, we make women do this. No, let's open it up to everybody. Everybody's got to talk for 2 minutes. Everybody's got to give a 2-minute speech on a subject of their choosing.
Okay, Ron.
We'll see how interesting they are for 2 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, don't you press that button. I'm
Fingers hovering over the. You don't know if it's going to be a buzz or a ding.
I think we should do the competition together, and everybody does the same thing.
Okay, and I will say no. Well, I'll tell you the problem with that.
That ding sounded weird.
What? I'll tell you the problem with that, Ron. What do you call it?
Mr. and Miss America.
Oh, Mr. and Miss America?
The best Mr. and Miss America in the
person
universe.
in the universe.
Yeah, the best
Best
person in the universe.
Yeah,
Yeah.
well, I already got that title.
I mean, it is kind of a valid question. Like, why aren't men able to be in beauty pageants? And like, it's a weird question,
now-
but like, why not?
Now you're onto something. I think, Taylor, if you're going to follow this progressive trajectory, where we will end up is you're going to have the standard of beauty being applied to men as well. Because then it all comes down to homophobia. If there's like a really attractive guy, other guys who feel a little bit insecure about their sexuality aren't going to admit it, or they'll, go out of the way. It's like, oh, that guy's not hot. Like, but I think if we do follow this trajectory and it does become like what Ron is saying, Mr. and Miss America, you will eventually have guys and girls competing for the same title and being judged on the same merits. Like, how hot is this guy versus how hot is this girl? Can the same sex objectively judge the beauty of their own gender? Do you think, like, if your own gender and sexual orientation, do you think that's possible?
And also, by the way, once we start, progressing even more with plastic surgery and genetic modification of genes and all this type of stuff, it's like, if we're all really attractive, then what are we even doing?
Just gonna bone all the time, I guess.
You know how close we are to being able to stop aging?
Yeah.
We're like really close.
I keep hearing that.
Shit.
Really?
I feel like I'm
Yeah.
That's so
I feel like
exciting.
I'm already over it.
It's going to be there's going to be a time probably in the next 100 years where everyone's going to just look 30.
Yeah, that's a good age to stop.
But
Lauren,
what if you stopped at like 14?
you age mentally, but you stop aging your body at 14? That'd be
Yeah.
horrible.
Whoa,
Fucking weird, right?
I've not thought about that.
That's basically, you remember that fucking vampire movie with Brad Pitt?
Yes.
Yeah, and they were like, oh, you must never suck the blood of a child, because then he gets stunted at that age, and that's what happened. There was like
Are you doing
a
the
kid.
Count from Sesame Street right there?
I have a Jewish friend, and every time I try,
Oh my
I
gosh.
try to do his accent, and he doesn't even have one. I'm just trying to do like a real stereotypical sound.
Yeah, you're like-
it sounds like a vampire.
Yeah, you're like the man of three voices. And one of them's like, oh, Maddox? Oh, I don't understand.
Ron.
Ron.
Lauren, I'm going to give you a final word on this. Beauty pageants should or should not have swimsuit competitions.
No, they shouldn't.
And specifically because what's the crux of the debate?
It objectifies women, and
Objectifies. And you don't buy that argument that objectification can be a good thing.
no, definitely not. I don't need to talk to the woman in the West Hollywood post office. She was very nasty to me.
Yeah, exactly.
I try to talk to everybody, no matter who it is. I talk to all my Uber drivers. I talk to random people on the street. I'm a super friendly person. But sometimes
sure.
people don't.
I hate it when Uber drivers talk to me.
Really?
I hate it.
Yeah,
Why?
some people hate it because sometimes like you get in there and you just want to carry on with your work or whatever. And I get it. I get both sides of it. I've occasionally. I usually invite my Uber drivers, if it's late at night and I'm grabbing a bite to eat, I'll invite them to come with me to grab a burger. And more often than not, they do. I'll be going into the burger place, and a few minutes later, my Uber driver comes in and joins me. I'm like, oh, okay, I guess this is happening.
But he's like, hey, I'm charging you for this time.
Oh, yeah, he keeps the meter running. No. Well, anyway, Lauren, good debate. Now is your chance to vote on madcastmedia.com. We'll have the results of this week's debate next week. It's really, really fascinating. There's a lot to discuss. I feel like we could spend like another hour talking about this.
I think they're just becoming more and more useless, I guess.
Beauty pageants?
I think swimsuit competitions for sure, and beauty pageants in general. I think as time goes on, I think unless they continue to adapt and try and remain relevant, I think less and less people are going to continue to watch them. It's just starting to feel weird.
It is bizarre. I don't know why. It's like a relic of the 70s and 80s.
It started out back in the early 19th century as a way to keep people at the beach towards Labor Day. They would have a beauty pageant to keep tourists around. Be like, hey, stick around till Labor Day. We got this big beauty pageant. They'd have all the girls come, and the swimsuit competition was a way just to kind of keep people around.
Really? That's where it came from?
That's where it came from. And then it was then they disallowed the swimsuit competition because they're like, this is fucked up. We shouldn't be showing this much flesh. But then it was like, no, we're women. Fucking me too. We're going to show it. And so... And then at the time it was kind of considered like almost like a little revolutionary thing to do because it wasn't deemed like okay by society. And now we've kind of come full circle where we're like, okay, we get it.
Fact check here. Ron is wrong.
What? I just read that in an article. God damn it.
European festivals dating to the medieval era provide the most direct lineage for beauty pageants.
Okay,
fuck you. I have the internet too.
All right, that's another. That seems like it's a Wikipedia type thing, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. All right, Taylor. Nice
But I'm
try.
still wrong.
Yeah.
Oh, but for
Sneaky.
a second I felt right, and it felt so goddamn good.
I don't know. You guys can do your own research.
All right, yeah, you guys are both wrong. So, all right, let's get to the recap of last week's debate. Last week, Lauren, we debated: are the Beatles overrated? What do you think?
No.
Okay, incorrect. But you're gonna love some of these voicemails we got.
I don't think I gave an opinion last week.
What do you think, Taylor?
I absolutely do not feel like they're overrated.
The Beatles are not overrated?
They're not overrated.
Okay, well, we asked the audience at madcastmedia.com to vote on this. And with 61% of the vote, yes, correct. The audience got it right. I think this is the first time in Madcast Media history that the audience voted correctly. They said yes, they are overrated.
Oh.
And I take it you as well said yes?
I did vote yes.
You know, I don't mind either way, but you know what I hate is when you're at a party and people just start singing Beatles songs. Like, I don't mind when the Beatles are singing the Beatles. You know what I don't mind, or what I hate, is like when Karen starts singing the Beatles.
Yeah.
You know?
Fucking Karen singing the Beatles.
Just like let the Beatles sing. I pretty much hate when anybody ever starts singing and you're like, oh, cool, you're singing the song that I want to hear. Awesome.
The point I made last week is like saying the Beatles are overrated is like saying Charlie Chaplin's overrated.
Yeah.
In terms of comedy, it's like there's just too much of an influence that one thing was the catalyst for.
Oh man, I mean that's a good point.
What's the demographic of your audience? That's what I'm curious about. How old are they?
They're in the late 80s, early 90s.
And what do they sound like?
Oh, Maddox. No, my audience, my audience, like the demographic is like, I don't know, like 30% real dumbasses, and then 40% blowhards, and another 10% that are kind of cool, and then the very top we have 1 or 2% that are super cool. Well, guys, before we move on, I've got a very special package, fan gift from a very cool fan. He's actually in the chat room now watching us live. His name's Ian McHenry.
Aw.
Ian sent us a care package, and I am blown away by what he sent us. First of all, he sent us a shit ton of beef jerky. Look at this.
We've got
more beef jerky.
More beef jerky.
All right. Thanks, Ian.
Yeah, it's called Jerk Face Jerky. It's got 3 stars like my logo. What are you saying there, Ian? But we got this coffee. It's like coffee beef jerky. I've never had that before.
Ooh. I always
And-
want to feel awake when I eat meat.
Check this out. He sent us also, I'm going to hold these up for a camera so you guys can see. He sent me space music. Look at that. I love
It's hits from outer space.
I love space music. Ian bought me a CD of space music. How fucking cool is that shit?
Do you still have anything that can play a CD?
Yeah, I got a computer.
It's really weird. A lot of new computers don't have D drives.
I know. Every now and then, I will accidentally open up my disk drive on my PC, and it scares the shit out of me. Like, oh yeah, I still have that. I didn't know that anything was going to eject from this thing. But thank you, man. Ian, longtime listeners of the show know that I love space music, and I'll talk about that a little bit more later. But he also sent us a shit ton of hot sauce. Look at this.
Oh, my God.
It's Capital City Mambo sauce.
Oh.
And he packed it correctly in Ziploc bags so it doesn't blow up all over the fucking
Yeah, this
box.
is a Washington, D.C. place.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, it's super good.
Yeah, he sent
is
us
awesome.
some sweet hot, some spicy.
Can you bring your own hot sauces to restaurants?
Yeah. I've done
Yeah,
it
if you
before.
want to be that guy.
Yeah, if you want to be that guy. Oh my gosh, he sent me a Pokemon Go Plus. It's like one of these little portable Pokemon detectors.
That's so cool.
That's really cool.
Isn't that cool?
That's awesome.
Maddox
shit,
and I
thanks,
still
Ian.
play Pokemon Go. I got back into it.
And the final thing in this box, he sent us some Super Mario cereal. Look at this.
Oh, wow.
Look
Oh,
how
man.
much.
That's
Look how much
pretty
shit,
rad.
Ian. What a fucking cool guy, man.
That's awesome.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Ian. Holy shit. This is like one of the best care packages. This is 3 weeks in a row, Lauren, that we've gotten care packages. Last week, Jen, a longtime listener of the show, Jen sent us some pancake mix and some syrup. And a couple weeks before that, this guy named Dillon sent me a Japanese Sega Saturn.
What?
I know, right? How
That
fucking
is
cool.
awesome.
Got the best listeners on the show. Thank you, guys. Thank you, Ian. That's so cool. But we should get to some voicemail. I got some really good voicemail this week. We got a lot of critics about music last week. Listen to this.
Maddox, you're a fucking idiot. You're saying that lyrics are terrible because they're sneaking poetry into my music. No, if you don't like lyrics, then you're missing out on such great lyrics. Like this one from Kanye West's new album. We wouldn't be here without cum. You need that in your life, Maddox, and you're missing out because you're being a baby. Go fuck a whale.
Yeah, great. So we get the full gamut of fans. We get the really nice ones and the cool ones, and then we get callers like that. We had a bunch of voicemail about John Lennon, and I love these. Listen to this.
Hey, Lord Maddox, it's me. One of my favorite things I like to do with Beatle fans is just bring up the fact that John Lennon beat his wife, because that kind of changes the tone immediately. and it's always fun to do. And he's like, yeah, he was an abusive husband and a terrible father. So yeah, fuck him and fuck whales.
That's right. Fuck whales to you too. But that's a thing that people forget about John Lennon. He was like a real abusive prick. Like he beat his wife. The guy who said, "All we need is love." That guy. Yeah, beating his wife. Anyway, speaking of, let's keep the John Lennon voicemails going. Listen to this.
What was John Lennon's last hit before he died? The Curb.
Wow.
I love that we got two mouth gasps.
He sounds like the what's his name? Adam from Girls, Darth Vader, and the new Darth. What's his name?
Oh, Darth Maul. Or,
yeah,
what's his name?
Kylo
Ren. Yeah, Kylo Ren. He does sound like Kylo Ren. I can totally picture him as Kylo Ren. That's our new caller. That's Kylo Ren. Here's. So last week, Ron, you weren't here. We were trying to see if there was anything that was universally loved, and I posited that Frank Sinatra was universally loved. And we got one caller. Listen to this.
Fuck Frank Sinatra. He fucking sucks dick.
Nobody has an opinion that strong about Frank Sinatra that's negative.
Didn't Frank Sinatra like fuck his mom or something like that?
What?
What?
Frank Sinatra had sex with his mom?
Yeah.
Oh, this guy's mom.
This guy's mom.
Oh, I thought you were saying his own mom. Yeah.
okay.
Oh, what?
Yeah.
No, god
Yeah.
damn it.
Bizarre. Frank Sinatra, real swagger, real
Oh, with those
crooner.
blue eyes, he probably could have if he wanted to.
Hey, gross.
Sorry.
All right. We got another voicemail. Oh, so I talked about how I like Thunderstruck, AC/DC's Thunderstruck. Cool song, right, Lauren?
Yeah.
Favorite song of all time. That's what she said. Here's here's a voicemail about that. Listen to this.
Hey, Maddox. You like Thunderstruck? That song fucking sucks. Fuck whales.
He added nothing to the world.
What's the Wales thing? They keep
Oh, fuck!
saying?
That's my book. Fuck
Oh,
whales. Yeah.
okay, cool. So
Yeah.
you made a book?
I made a book. Yeah,
Oh.
that's my third book. It just came out a couple months ago.
Wow, I have to read it. What's
Yeah.
it about?
So it's called Fuck Whales, Fuck Poetry, Fuck Families, fuck kids but don't, fuck trees. And I also wrote a chapter in there called Fuck Your Problem with Sexual Objectification, I think is what it's called. And so that's where I delved into this real deep. I think you would actually I would like to see what you think of this chapter, Lauren.
Okay.
Because I think it may be persuasive. I did a better job in writing than I did on this podcast today. But I'm really curious to see. I'll get you a copy. when
Awesome.
we,
I'm
get out here.
excited.
Yeah. Anyway, and then I got another voicemail about Thunderstruck. Listen to this guy.
All right, I'm a little fucking triggered now. Yeah, AC/DC is cool. I agree. AC/DC is cool. Thunderstruck. The fuck, dude? Is that the only song you know by AC/DC? Oh my god, that's like some filthy casual kind of shit. Jeez. It's like, I'm a hardcore gamer. I play Peggle. It's like, oh my god, yeah, Peggle's a good game, but you're not a hardcore gamer because you play fucking Peggle. God damn. Maddox. Ugh. Fuck!
What an asshole. Yeah, I didn't say it was the only AC/DC song I know or like. There's also Dirty Deeds, the Big Ball song. Whatever, man. Let's move on to some more voicemail. Oh, Ron, so someone suggested something, and they noticed, because Ron got a demotion a couple, 3-4 weeks ago.
I'm okay with it.
Yeah, he got a demotion on the show. He was a moderator, but he got demoted
I was awful at it.
to the first tangent officer because he actually goes on tangents instead of keeping us on track.
Yeah, I just kind of like keep people on their toes.
Yeah. Well, here's a voicemail about that. Listen to this.
Hey, Maddox. So, it's a little bit sad to say it, but Ron, ever since we were promoted him into a tangent officer, he doesn't go on as many tangents anymore.
God damn.
And so I think we need to have a new segment on the show, like Ron's Story Corner or something, to remind him that he needs to bring in a story every week that has nothing to do with anything that's being talked about on the show. All right.
I am loving
What do you
it.
think of that, Ron?
I like it.
I do, because Ron and I, we both, because of the nature of this podcast and it's so structured, we do the debate, we do the voicemail, etc. We often don't let in too much of our own personal lives into it.
How about this? How about a story tangent, but you never know when it's coming. Comes in at a time of my choosing.
Yeah?
I could really fucking derail a good one. You know?
Yeah. Ron's Story Corner. You get one
Story
corner,
corner,
Ron.
damn it.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. And we got just a couple more voicemails. So last week, Taylor brought in a story about people. I just realized people who wear glasses actually are smarter.
Oh.
Yeah. And so we got a voicemail about that. I'm looking at Lauren because Lauren's wearing glasses right now, but listen to this.
People who wear glasses are not fucking smart. If they were smart at all, they would get contacts so they wouldn't look like a fucking nerd.
Oh, you think I look like a nerd guy on the phone? I'm so hurt.
Well, there you go. Douchebag of the week, inadvertently calling our guest a nerd.
Man, what's wrong with being a nerd? That's just someone who's like really passionate about knowledge.
Also, Guy, the article was explaining that you have a genetic disposition to have eyes that aren't as good as people. Like, that's what it's talking.
Yeah, I think that's what the heart of it was.
Probably because they're reading so goddamn much.
Yeah, maybe. Anyway, we got one more voicemail. Here's the critic. So I talk about like one of my favorite bands of all time is Pantera. I love Pantera, and this guy called in to shit on that. Listen to this.
All right, so I got a few things to kind of pick apart about everything about y'all saying and stuff like that. First off, Maddox, you say you listen to cool music. Okay, so Trapped Under Ice, yeah, they're pretty good. Pantera fucking sucks. They suck. They're trash. Get over yourself. You're not cool because you listen to Pantera. You're one of the other fucking angry-ass inbreds that like to beat people up for no fucking reason. Just, I listen to Pantera. You may as well buy a lifted truck, put a Punisher sticker on the back, and then put a Marine sticker on the front, and then listen to Pantera with your windows down. That's the kind of person you sound like. But yeah, Max, get over yourself. Fuck. All right.
I feel like that guy definitely got beat up by someone in a truck exactly like
Yeah,
that.
with the Marine sticker.
That sounded so specific.
Way too specific. I went snowboarding for the first time in California, and when I get out, I'm like gearing up, and I open up my car door, and every car is playing Pantera. I'm like, yeah, these are my people. And then I get up on the lift, and they're just so douchey. I recognize that. I understand how douchey the fans of the music are sometimes. Well, guys, this is unusual. We've never had to do this one during a show, but Ron does have a heart out today.
You know what? Fuck this podcast and fuck you guys. I'll see you next week.
Yeah, see you next week, buddy. Ron is going to you're going to do a comedy show potentially too, right?
Yeah, on a boat.
On a boat, yeah.
Yeah.
We'll boat speed to you, sir, and we'll see you next week. But yeah,
whales.
All right, bye to Ron, but we'll continue the show. We've got some quick news headlines with our junior journalist, Taylor Nicolai. Taylor, what do you got for us?
A Corpus Christi man is recovering after being bitten by a rattlesnake after the snake had already been beheaded.
Oh, shit, I heard about this. So the snake's head got cut off, and it still bit him, right?
How?
Yeah.
Jennifer Sutcliffe and her husband were doing weekend yard work when she spotted a 4-foot rattlesnake. She said her husband quickly took his shovel out and severed the snake's head, but moments later, when he bent down to dispose of the snake's head bit him.
That's pretty hardcore. There was also that video, I don't know if you guys saw this, and Taylor, if you brought this in, sorry to step on your lead, but there was an alligator that they caught like on a golf course, and they muzzled it and then tied up its legs and put it on the back of a pickup truck. Well, the alligator whipped its head back and headbutt the guy who put it on the truck and knocked him out cold.
Nice.
Yeah, pretty badass.
There are about 6,000 to 8,000 snake bites per year in this country.
6,000 and 8,000? That seems about right.
That's
right?
a large range.
Is it?
The Air Force has canceled a $24 million refrigerator order for Air Force One.
How many million?
$24 million.
$24 million. Why? Oh, because of just on Air Force One?
Right. So, this is interesting. The refrigerators aboard Air Force One must be able to carry 3,000 meals in order to feed passengers and crew for up to 4 weeks in case of an emergency landing.
Holy shit. 3,000 meals on this thing. So where are they going to land in emergency that they're going to not have contact to anyone to come after the president?
Right.
You're not going to land in the Alps, dipshit.
Right.
What do you need 3,000 meals in there for?
3,000 is a lot for 3 weeks. Wait,
that's more meals. Weeks. That's more meals than many cities.
Right. The contract was canceled due to the looming introduction of the new version of the presidential jet. The Air Force announced a deal to purchase 2 new aircraft from Boeing in 2017 that will serve as the future Air Force One under the next several presidents.
Wow, holy shit, man. That's so much. It seems exorbitant, right?
Yeah. I'd say $24 million for refrigerator. Sounds exorbitant.
And they canceled it, huh?
Non-drinkers are more likely to miss work than moderate drinkers.
Wait, why?
Researchers from the Finnish Institute of Occupational Health recently conducted a study to determine which groups miss work the most. To do so, they surveyed more than 47,000 people. Oh, wait, no, I don't say why. It's just that I talk about the survey. And it's just, that's what they observed.
So why do non-drinkers miss more work than drinkers?
Than moderate
drinkers. You know what? They take less chances, okay? And you know something about people who are taking less chances. All right. Now, I'm not talking about people who are not drinking because of alcoholism or whatever, just people who abstain from fun. They also don't like spicy food. And there was a study a while back that found that people who enjoy spicy food also take more risks in their lives. They do more extreme sports. They'll do skydiving, bungee jumping, zip lining, all those sorts of things.
Lauren, do you like spicy food?
No, and I'm a non-drinker, so wow.
Oh, damn. Do you miss a lot of days?
You were about to just shit on Lauren.
Wow.
I
I'm
feel
learning so much about myself right now. Continue, Tony Robbins. Continue.
Well, Lauren, but you're constantly working, so I don't even know what a day off for you would be.
Do you take risks?
A day off is going to the beach, and I do take risks, but I'm scared of heights, so I never jumped out of a plane.
See? No spicy food, no heights. There it is.
Sharks possess extraordinary electrical sixth sense, tuned for attack mode. Research funded by the National Institute of Health was aimed at finding the links between evolution and the senses in animals. Instead, it wound up revealing how sharks possess an unparalleled sensor of sorts that allows them to pick up the tiniest of electrical fields living in nearby waters. Sharks have this incredible ability to pick up nanoscopic currents while swimming through a blizzard of electrical noise.
Yeah, nanoscopic sounds like a made-up word, right? What's nanoscopic? So these are just attack sensors that sharks have.
Yeah, it's kind of cool because, we think of sharks as these deadly predators, and actually they kind of have these powers and senses that we kind of don't even understand.
Yeah, sharks are cool as shit.
Yeah.
So I've been saying for years. Lauren, sharks cool as shit or no?
They're cool, but I'm scared of them.
Yeah. What do you think is the most badass animal?
The lion.
Oh, lion. That is actually correct. Holy shit,
Wow.
The lion is the most badass animal.
Scientists and chefs in Italy say they have made a pizza which prevents cancer and heart disease.
Oh, hell yeah, dude. I'm going to fucking eat that shit. Wait, how does it prevent cancer and heart disease?
Yeah, it's stupid. The pizza, designed by scientists in Naples, has been called the pizza that extends life and an anti-tumor pizza. A group of researchers, restaurateurs, food producers, and consumers came together to invent the pizza. The pizza has a wheat flour base and is topped with cherry tomatoes, rapini, olives, and extra virgin olive oil, garlic, and chili.
Yeah, the secret ingredient is chemotherapy. Oh, man, I just checked the chat room. Someone actually said that, just as I said it too. Ian, he said it has chemo on it. That's funny. All right, yeah, what else you got, Taylor?
Wizard of Oz last living munchkin dies at 98.
Aww.
The last surviving munchkin from Wizard of Oz has passed away. According to TMZ, Jerry Marin died over a week ago at a San Diego nursing facility. His funeral was held over the weekend in Hollywood. It's weird that there's still some, well, now there's not, but it's weird that there was a ton of them.
Well, yeah, I guess that's the end of an era. That's the end of a munchkin era.
I wonder how much he made on residuals. Is there a way, how much? Because that's a long time. He lived for a long time, so he's still...
back in the day, they didn't give a fuck about residuals.
Oh.
Probably, right?
I don't know if they had... Did they have residuals?
It seems like something that came about because of the unions, the acting union, the writers union. All these people, all these unions start to get formed because the studios weren't sharing. I heard, what's his name? Mayhew, the guy who played the original Chewbacca, never saw a dime from toy sales or residuals or anything like that for years.
Wasn't it? I heard the opposite, where he decided not to get residuals and instead got toy sales.
Oh, is that what it was?
That's what I heard.
I don't know. All I know is I ran into him at Comic-Con. Well, I didn't run into him, but I was walking past his booth, and he was posing for photos with fans. And the photo he was posing for was with his little Star Wars laser gun thing in his mouth. He was just looked so depressed. I'm like, oh my gosh, this is the worst. Seeing him, and occasionally I'll see Lou Ferrigno at a Comic-Con thing, and they just look like they don't want to be there. They're not having a good time. Anyway, Taylor, anything else?
No, we're good. We're good.
Those are the quick news headlines with our junior journalist, Taylor Nikolai. Lauren, thank you again for coming on the show. Where can people find you?
I want my Lauren, guys. I'm almost at 3 million. I'm trying to get 3 million on Facebook, so please do me a favor. Follow my Facebook, please, please, please.
Yeah, absolutely.
And my YouTube. I want my Lauren.
Lauren, and it's delightful. I looked at your new schedule. So you have your Fortnite Wednesdays or Thursdays?
I've just been playing more video games like every day, but I have to get more organized. So I decided to I multi-stream. So I stream everywhere. And I just started doing Twitch. I remember it took me a year to finally figure out how to set it up because I'm really slow.
No, it's a lot. It's pretty involved to set up Twitch.
It's a lot. And then just to do the Streamlabs and just hook up all I have multiple streaming platforms, so it's a lot. But now on my YouTube, I'm just doing youtube.com/Lauren for my games and Twitch.
And you do fitness,
everywhere.
so you're doing fitness
and comedy on my main channel.
Right, yeah.
And then on my second channel, I'm just doing reactions. And then and then on Facebook, I just post everything and anything.
All right, thank you again, Lauren, for coming on the show.
Thank you.
Thank you to the junior journalist, Taylor Nikolai. No, fuck you, Taylor. And thank you to Ron Babcock, who had to leave early. But most of all, you're welcome.
All right, great debate, great points all around. I'm just going to have to address one quick thing, though. Maddox, unfortunately, you were incorrect about one thing. Yesterday for the Beatles is not the most overplayed, overcovered song ever. That award belongs to fucking Hotel California from the Eagles. The most overplayed, most overcovered, most piece of shit song ever. Welcome to the Hotel California. God fucking damn it. I hate that song so fucking much. Anyway, love the show. Keep doing what you do best, Maddox. Great debate all around. Taylor, happy belated birthday.
Thank you.
Peace out. Fuck whales.
Yeah, fuck whales to you, too. That was a good call. And we got one last voicemail. And too bad Ron couldn't be here because he loves the Bad Hombre. But check this shit out.
I miss Ron.
Hey, what's up? This little ditty goes to my little cabron Taylor. Nikolai. Sounds like a girl, but is really a guy. People think that he's a chick. That may be true, but he has a dick.
Whoa.
He swears to God that he's a guy. So prove it, he'll drop trial and poke your eye. Some people say he takes it up the rectum, but Maddox fans know gender's on a spectrum. So don't fuck with Taylor unless you have a death wish, because he'll beat your ass and make you his bitch.
Wow. That took some effort.
How's that?
That was amazing.
Bad Hombre really bringing out the big guns.
Wow.
Yeah.
That took, yeah.
Yeah, it was fun.
Hey there. Don't forget to subscribe to Madcast shows on iTunes, Stitcher, or your favorite podcast app. Okay, bye. Madcast Media Network.